Hello, this is Karen Brockney for Photographic Elements Techniques. In this lesson, I'll show you how to make and decorate an egg. I'm starting with a bright blue background for our eggs. To make the egg, select the elliptical marquee tool on the toolbox. It may be hiding underneath the rectangular marquee tool. In the tool options, set the feather to 0 and check anti-aliasing. And once your options are set, close the tool options so we can see the screen better. Now click and drag on your image downward and then to the side to create a long oval egg shape. In the Layers panel, create a new layer above the background layer, and then let's choose a foreground color to fill the egg with, and I'm going to use a light pink. Select the Paint Bucket tool, click inside the egg to fill it with pink. Let's close those tool options again. Now from the Select menu, choose Deselect to deselect that egg. From the Filter menu, choose Distort, then choose Liquify. In the Liquify dialog, we're going to make the bottom part of our egg blowed out so that it looks more egg-like. On the left-hand side of the dialog, choose the Bloat tool. And using your bracket keys, increase the size of the brush so that it's larger than the egg shape. If you can't get it larger than the egg shape, use the maximum brush size of 600. Over the egg, place those crosshairs a little bit towards the bottom and in the middle, and then click once to bloat the egg out. If it's not as wide as you would like, click again until you have an egg shape that you really like. And then click OK. Now that we have our egg, let's make 2 duplicate copies of it on separate layers. Press Ctrl-J on the PC or Command-J on the Mac twice to duplicate that layer. The eggs are all sitting on top of each other. Let's move them so that they're sitting next to each other. Select the Move tool. And to do this, let's choose Auto Select Layer. Then click on the egg and draw one of the eggs out to the side. Click again and draw another egg out to the other side. Let's select the bottom egg and just turn off the other eggs by clicking the visibility icon in the Layers panel. Let's add some texture to this egg. From the Filter menu, choose Texture, then choose Texturizer. In the Texturizer dialog, choose Sandstone for the texture. Let's look at the egg a little bit more close up by increasing the size of it. Let's make it about 66% here. And then adjust the scaling and the relief as you desire to make the egg look like it has a little bit of texture. Let's show the light coming from the top left, and then click OK. Our egg now has some texture, but it's looking pretty flat. And we can make this egg look more three-dimensional by adding some light and shadow. We'll do that with the Burn and Dodge tools. In the toolbox, click either the Burn tool or the Dodge tool. And let's start with the Burn tool. Choose a range of midtones and choose a soft round brush. You can have a fairly large brush size and press the right bracket or the left bracket to increase or decrease the brush size. Set the exposure to 100%. And let's close those tool options. Oh, one thing that we want to do before we start this, on the Layers panel, click the Lock Transparent Pixels icon. What this does will ensure that whenever you paint, the only thing that will be changed is the egg itself, because all of the transparent pixels on that layer will be locked. So let's now just brush over the bottom of the egg to darken it. And let's make this a good dark color. Now let's choose the Dodge tool, which is going to lighten parts of the egg. Use the same settings as the Burn, and let's just lighten the top left corner of the egg. if we close the tool options, we can see that our egg now has more dimension than it did before we used the burn and dodge tools. For our second egg, we'll create a jewel tone. Click the visibility icon on the egg just above that egg we just made, and then click on that egg's layer to select it. Click the Lock Transparent Pixels icon so that we're working only on the egg. Go to the Effects panel. In the Effects panel, choose Styles, then choose Glass Buttons. In the glass buttons, select a color that you'd like to use for the egg. I'm going to choose Teal Glass, and double-click on that style to apply it. Now this looks a little flat. Let's add a little bit more dimension to that. Click on the Show Style Settings icon in the panel, and in the Style Settings, increase the inner size a little bit in the inner glow. Let's also increase the bevel a little bit so that our egg looks more rounded and the light is coming from the top. And then click OK. The settings that you use in these styles will vary depending on the size of the eggs that you're creating. Let's go back to the Layers panel and work on our third egg. For our third egg, we'll add some decoration. So click to select that top layer. Click the visibility icon to make it visible. Choose the Lock Transparent Pixels icon to lock the transparent pixels on that layer. Let's choose a dark color to add a zigzag line to the egg. So in the foreground color box, I'm going to choose a bright green. Select the brush tool and choose a hard round brush. Set the opacity to 100%, and then you can adjust the size by pressing the right bracket or the left bracket on your keyboard. To make a zigzag line, click once on the side of your egg. Now press the Shift key and click downward a little bit to create the first leg of the zigzag. Still holding Shift down, move up and click again. Hold Shift and click until you have a zigzag line that reaches across your entire egg. Let's add some interesting designs and decorations to this. In the color picker, choose another color for your designs. Let's choose that orange. Go to the Shape tool, the Custom Shape tool on the toolbox, and under Custom Shapes, choose Flowers, and then select a flower. Check to draw from the center. This will help us when we create our egg because we want to show some of the flowers wrapping around the egg. Let's start at the edge of the egg up here, then click and draw out to have one flower wrapping around near the top. Let's click and draw again to have another flower that's wrapping in and out of the egg. And then we'll click in the middle and draw one that's inside the egg. Right now, all of these flowers are sitting on top of the egg, and notice that they are all shape layers, so we have 3 layers of shape layers. If you're happy with the position and the size of the shapes that you've done, then click to select the top shape layer in the Layers panel, then press Shift and click to select the bottom shape layer. Right-click and choose Merge Layers. They're now all merged into one layer that is a regular layer and not a shape layer. To make them appear only within the egg, press Ctrl-G on the PC or Command-G on the Mac to create a clipping group. And if you're happy with that, you can now right-click on the clipping group and choose Merge Down to merge it into the egg below. And let's close the tool options to see the 3 eggs that we've made. Now that you've learned to make and decorate eggs, have fun gathering them together into their own basket and use them in your springtime creations.